You're watching Press Box, presented by Roper Kia, Bob's Appliance Center, Missouri Southern State University, and Girard Medical Center.
Welcome into the season premiere of Press Box here on the 4-State CW. I'm Sports Director Ryan Blank alongside Ben McLeish. And Ben, it's the first full week of action with Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma teams taking the field. How exciting is it to finally have a full slate of football back?
It's very exciting. Last week we kind of got a sneak peek, a little taste of football in the 4 states, but now we got full slate of action.
Full slate of action. Let's start with our KOAM game of the week between Colgan and Girard here in our backyard of Pittsburgh. Panthers coming off a playoff sectionals appearance a year ago, welcoming in the Trojans. Opening drive for Colgan, 3rd down and long. Karsten Simmons looking for Brady Bedard, but Trent Ogbenin, he'll break up the pass to force a punt. Panthers forced to punt again on their next drive, and Trojans' Corvin Bowen takes this punt, cutting upfield, breaking multiple tackles, refusing to go down to stop the Girard offense in enemy territory. On the ensuing drive, Ben Colin, he'll fake the handoff, but Brock Radell is there for the sack, stripping the quarterback and forcing a fumble. Colton Simmons recovers for Colgan. Next play from scrimmage, Simmons calls his own number, cutting up the seam and weaving through the defense. A huge run to set up the Panthers in Trojan territory. On the opening play of the second quarter, goal-to-go situation for Colgan, and Clayton Adamson bullies his way into the end zone for the score. Panthers lead at 7-0. Final seconds of the first half now. Colgan in the red zone, looking to extend that lead. Simmons does it again with his legs, waltzing in for the score. Panthers take a 14-0 lead into half as Colgan cruises to a big win on opening night, 28-0 the final.
The Frontenac Raiders coming off a district championship, opening the season against Galena. A few plays into the second quarter, leading 22-0. Frontenac's running back, Kane Geldy, scores on a short run to make it 20-0 game. Galena's running back, Kenyon Washam, tries to get around the left side. The Raiders' Brogan Smith comes up with the fumble recovery to put Frontenac on another short drive. After a 4-and-out for the Raiders, Galena's running back, Evan Wittenmeyer, breaks free up the middle deep into Frontenac territory for a 57-yard run. And 3 plays later, Bulldogs quarterback Chase Cottrell finds Washam just inside the end zone for a touchdown to make it 29-6. But on the ensuing kickoff, Caden Mirando makes the catch at the 20-yard line and turns on the Jets and scores untouched for an 80-yard Frontenac score just before halftime as the Raiders roll in this one, defeating the Bulldogs at home 49-6.
Riverton kicking off their schedule at home against Baxter Springs. We picked this one up in the third with the Lions up 14-7. Riverton 3rd down and 3, trying to move the chains, but the Lion defense would come up strong. Refs would measure, but coming up a half-yard short. Aiden Hutchinson would keep it on this play and dive across the line, though, for the easy first down to extend the drive. Next play, trying to hand it off. Riverton would cough it up, close to the end zone. Lions recover, but the drive stalls. Riverton now trying to punt it away. Bad snap here. Rams trying to make something of it, but will finally be brought down back at the 27-yard line. Baxter Springs at the 5-yard line here. Bradley Wade takes a handoff from Cole Parrish, finding his way to Pater. Touchdown Lions. It's now 21-6 at this point. Baxter Springs with the opening night dub, 29-12 the final.
Labette County ushering in a new era with Bradley Argabright as head coach, taking on rival Parsons. Labette County strikes first. Aaron Weirick drops back and connects with his man, Barrett Heston, in the end zone for the game's opening touchdown. Grizzlies lead 6-0. Parsons looking to answer, but this pass from Andrew Hauk is picked off. Wyatt Kepley jumps the route and takes it the other way for Labette County. Later, Grizzlies back on offense. Weirick looks to pass with Deontay Fields, but Parsons' Wyatt Schultz isn't fooled and he storms in for the big tackle. Back on offense, Weirick. He drops back and he connects with Camden Good and makes pretty good yardage for the Grizzlies. Third quarter now, Weirick under pressure and he's brought down hard for the sack. Labette County opens the season with a win over Parsons, 26-6 in the final.
Northeast opening their season at home against St. Paul. Northeast winning the toss, electing to kick. On the first offensive play of the game, St. Paul's quarterback, Breck Norris, he's going to pitch it to the star running back, Devin Vogel, who loses the ball, and Northeast Jackson Payne comes up with the fumble recovery. Payne, who doubles as the Vikings quarterback, he's going to hand it off on this play to Bryce DeBust for a 5-yard gain on their first offensive stint, but Payne launches his throw just out of reach for his intended receiver, Braden Smith, in the back of the end zone on 4th down. More snap problems for St. Paul. Jackson Beechner falls on his own fumble, and that will stall out the drive, but Indians' Mason Evans, he's going to block this Vikings punt. William Devereaux scoops it up and heads in for the touchdown. Indians pick up the road win on opening night over the Vikings. 52-18 the final from Arma.
Southeast and Fredonia clashing in a Week 1 battle. Opening drive for the Yellow Jackets. Low snap. Corralled by Braden O'Leary, who cuts to the outside and turns positive gain before getting knocked out of bounds, setting up 2nd and short. After forcing a punt, Lancers Solomon Scott with the handoff to Gannon Hobbs, who takes it to the outside and down the sideline, has own guy to beat and is knocked down after a huge gain. And that would set up Southeast in the red zone, where Colton Lawrence takes the handoff, finds holes in the defense, flipping into the end zone for the score. Lancers lead 6-0. Fredonia looking to respond. O'Leary calling his own number, rolling out and taking off, heading towards the sideline, tight-roping his way to a first down with a nice gain. Lancers back in enemy territory, looking to punch it in. Scott rolling out and throwing on the run. But Logan Barnhart intercepts the pass for the Yellow Jackets, but it's the Lancers picking up the win at home, 6-0 to start the year 1-0.
That's only a taste of the action across the 4 states area. We still have plenty of games to come, with highlights ahead for matchups in Missouri and Oklahoma.
But first, a look at some scores from around the region.
Welcome back to Prex Box. We've taken a look at a busy night of football in the opening night in Kansas, but let's move over to Missouri, with multiple squads looking to start their years 2-0. One of those schools, Carl Junction, who's back at Bulldog Stadium to take on Rogers Heritage. Bulldogs coming off a Week 1 win over Capital City, taking on Heritage at home. Second quarter, Bulldogs up by 25. They look for more before the half. First play of the drive, Mason Gilbert drops back, hurling it deep, and the pass is overthrown with Landon Pruitt snagging it for the pick, but not so fast. You see that flag on the field. It's going to get called back for defensive pass interference. Carl Junction retains possession. Third down long, Gilbert rolls out to his left, makes the off-bounds throw to Bryant. Bryant Hanks, who corrals it on the sideline, setting up 4th and short. And Carl Junction, they're going to draw the War Eagles off sides on 4th down to keep the drive alive. Bulldogs now in the red zone. Gilbert has a clean pocket. He'll launch the moon ball. JoJo Ballard beats his man, comes down with the catch, somersaulting in the end zone for the score. A textbook 2-minute drill for Carl Junction. Bulldogs up 32-0. War Eagles with less than a minute to respond. It's a handoff to their running back, Evan Gordon, but multiple Bulldog defenders are there to shut it down. The Carl Junction defense pitching a shutout in the first half. Bulldogs dominate Heritage 45-7, the final score.
New Heights looking to start 2-0 for the 3rd straight year, battling Osceola. The Indians start on offense. Second play of the game, Will Murray hands it off to Devin Bloom. He finds the edge and there's nobody home. Bloom goes all the way for the score. Osceola takes the early 6-0 lead. After the failed 2-point conversion, New Heights can't score on its first possession and the Indians are back in the red zone. Murray takes his time. He can't find anybody downfield. Daniel Schroer drives on his legs. 2 more Cougars join in for the sack. But the Indians go on to score on the drive and take the 14-0 lead. Next possession, Bloom with another carry. Garrison Davis goes in for the tackle. Boom! He flips Bloom for no gain. But later on the drive, Bloom gets the last laugh. On a counterplay, he's got one man to beat. He stiff arms the defender and dives for the pylon for the touchdown. Indians up 21-0. They continue to dominate, taking down the Cougars 65-22.
Webb City on the road taking on Class 6A state runner-up Nixa. First play on offense for the Eagles. Running back Jaden McCaster takes it up the middle. There's nobody near him. That's a house call for the Eagles, and just like that, they're up 7-0. Cardinals now looking to respond, and Slade Hurd, he'll run this one out, and he gets in for the score, tying it up at 7. Nixa on offense just before halftime. Adam McKnight looking, and he's going to throw it deep, and he'll find a wide open Carter Mabe, and now Nixa, they extend their lead to 21-7 at the half. But check this one out. First play on offense in the second half for Webb. Mason Williams sheds a couple tackles. He's off to the races. That's a long score. Nobody touching him. Now Webb down by 7. Nixa later scores, but the Cardinals, they're not done. They're reaching into their bag of tricks. Triple option play. Gabe Johnson gets the score. The quarterback scoring it himself. Nixa blocks the PAT. Cardinals keep it tight, but they're unable to tie it up late. Nixa defeats Webb City 28-20. Cardinals back at home next Friday against Kickapoo. That's a look at the matchups in Missouri, but don't go anywhere. We still have plenty of action to get to from Oklahoma, including a rivalry game between Grove and Veneta. So stay tuned after this break. But first, a look at some more scores from around the region.
Welcome back to Press Box. We have covered a busy night of action in Kansas and Missouri, but what about Oklahoma? Their seasons kicked off last week, but the Grove Ridge Runners had a bye and opened their 2025 season against Veneta tonight in a rivalry matchup. Welcoming the Hornets to Ridge Runner Stadium. Veneta's Isaiah Pogue tries to break through, but the Ridge Runner defense shuts him down, setting the tone for a fierce first quarter. Not long after, Grove's Colby Watson launches a precision pass to Briggs Fink near the end zone. Fink takes it all the way in for the Ridge Runners' first touchdown. The kick is good, giving Grove an early lead, 7-0. The Hornets aim for a comeback, but DJ Smith's run is swiftly halted by Colby Watson. The Ridge Runners capitalize on that momentum. Blocking Zayden Nowlin's punt, Will Dunaway recovers and charges into the end zone, pushing Grove up to 14-0. The Ridge Runners keep the pressure on in the second quarter. Colby Watson powers through Veneta's defensive line, bulldozing his way to the end zone and extending the lead to 21-0.
Quapaw looking to bounce back in their home opener against Wyandotte. Bears on offense, Kaysen 3, takes a handoff from Hunter White, breaks one tackle and keeps on going before Kaysen Redden finally knocks him out of bounds. 3 again here on first down, takes the pitch from White, finds the outside, making a couple of Wildcat defenders miss. After a nice run, he's finally brought down deep into Wildcat territory. 2 plays later, Hunter White, he'll fake the handoff, decides to take this one in himself, find the outside, and dives across the goal line easily. They miss the extra point, but it's still 6-0 Wyandotte early in the first. Next Bears possession. Hunter White wanting to go through the air this time, dropping back. He'll find his man Jaron Stewart towards the sideline, and he takes this one in, untouched for the score. Wyandotte, they're going to go for 2, looking to extend that lead. This throw from White into the end zone, looking for Tatum 3, in and out of the hands here. Bears up 12-0 early in the second. Wyandotte going on for the win tonight, 40-0, the final score.
Commerce kicking off their season at home, taking on 1-0 Fairland. Middle of the second quarter with Commerce down 18-0. The Fairland defense tacks on 2 more with the safety that was forced by Day Witten Amos. Score now 20-0. Commerce goes 3 and out, and Fairland brings out the passing attack for this drive, which ends a touchdown pass from senior quarterback Carson Schertz to fellow senior Colt Kinsey. After another Commerce punt, the Tigers defense makes a play with a sack of Fairland's QB, senior defensive lineman Garrett Osborne. For the final play of the first half, Fairland tries for a Hail Mary pass, but the Commerce defense gets great pressure on him and the pass floats incomplete to end the half, 27-0 Fairland. To open the second half, it was more the same for Fairland as the opening kickoff is returned by senior running back Kalen White, who weaves through the coverage team for a speedy touchdown to put up Fairland 33-0.
Welch looking to improve to 2-0 on the young season, battling Claremore Christian. First drive of the game for Welch. Junior Colton Moss takes the handoff up the middle. He's making people miss as he takes it all the way down to the 2-yard line. Very next play, senior Eric Pitcher gets the Wildcats on the board with a 2-yard run. Welch ahead 6-0. Claremore's first play on offense, they're going to start out with a bag of tricks going in there, and as junior Malachi Zetter takes the reverse all the way for the touchdown, tying this one up 6-6. After a defensive stop, Claremore back on offense. Quarterback Derek Smith finds Malachi Zetter on a short out where he breaks 2 tackles and outruns the Wildcats for the touchdown. Claremore up 12-6. Next possession, Welch, and it's a 4th down, and one of Claremore's defenders, he'll hold the ground for a turnover on downs. Claremore takes over. They're going to try for a quick pass, but Welch freshman Emery Schapper makes a great open field tackle. Claremore Christian, though, they're going to go on for a big win, 50-12.
The action from this week on the gridiron, but we aren't done just yet here in the studio. Coming up, we will recap a full slate of football with takeaways, a look ahead to next week, and more. Stay tuned, but first, a look at scores from around the region.
Welcome back to Press Box. We've gone through all of our games in the first full week of action in the 4 states. And Ben, we had some great games tonight.
Lots of high-scoring games. We saw plenty of touchdowns. I hope it's that way all season.
I hope for the same thing, too. But before we close out the show, let's recap some of that action, starting with our weekly takeaways. Ben, go ahead and kick us off.
Carl Junction is a team to look out for. Dominating at home. Bulldogs now 2-0 the big wins. Wide receiver JoJo Ballard has emerged as one of their key weapons with scores in both games.
For me, I'm going with that Colgan defense. They're for real. They were swarming all game long. The Girard offense limited to only a pair of first downs, and they even forced a fumble by Girard. Their offseason focus was physicality over there for Colgan, and they were the most physical team out there on the field tonight.
Another team to look out for is Frontenac, proving that they're a complete team. With a massive win over Galena, everybody's doing the job with the offense stacking scoring drives, the defense holding down the Bulldogs' offense, and the special teams scoring a touchdown as well.
Now let's take a look at our performance of the week. We just talked about these teams, but let us know who you think had the best performance of the night by heading to KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. And I'll start us off with Carl Junction. A huge win, 45-7. They're 2-0, looking like a team to be a threat on the Missouri side.
Yeah, let's take a look ahead to next week, starting with week 2 in Kansas between Colgan and Frontenac. These two teams are coming off 9-win seasons, with the Raiders winning the district title. Last year, Frontenac took care of business at home with a big win over the Panthers. Colgan eyeing revenge at home next week.
In Missouri, it's a rematch of the district championship between Joplin and Nixa. Joplin eyes revenge as they return home to Jung Stadium in a battle of the Eagles. Joplin's emphasis this offseason has been physicality. Their toughest test so far coming next week.
Staying in the Show Me State, it's a clash of powerhouses between Seneca and Nevada. The Indians, who are coming off a state title game appearance, have won the last 2 matchups between the two schools. Nevada looking to turn the tide in this matchup series.
Let's look ahead to the weekend. Number 13, Pitt State continues their gauntlet start to the season on the road against 19th ranked Central Oklahoma. Gorillas looking to shake off their loss in last week's opener. Now a second straight victory over the Broncos after beating them a year ago. The offense will look to also build off of last week with Jackson Berry making his second start for PSU. Kickoff, 7 p.m. from Chad Richardson Stadium.
And Missouri Southern heads to Bolivar to take on Southwest Baptist. It's the first time head coach Atiba Bradley or any of the current MSSU roster will face the Bearcats. The Lions are coming in hot. Last week they took down Midwestern State 33-19 in Southern's first season opening win since 2013. Freshman Tillman Martin won the starting quarterback job last week. He'll get the call again against SBU. Kickoff at Plaster Stadium is set for 6 p.m. tomorrow.
The Kansas City Chiefs open their season tonight against division rival Chargers in Sao Paulo, and the AFC reigning champions fall to Los Angeles 27-21. For over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns for Justin Herbert. He outduels Patrick Mahomes in Brazil. Chiefs fall in their season opener. Xavier Worthy also exiting with an injury.
While we're talking pigskin, don't forget to enter for your chance to win some Kansas City Chiefs tickets. The Arvest Pigskin Sweepstakes is going on now through September 28th. Scan the code for rules or head to koamnewsnow.com/pigskin. To enter, it's kind of like a game of hide and seek. Seek out the Arvest helmet in our pigskin preview, click it, and enter. The tickets are for the Chiefs versus Raiders game on October 19th.
That'll do it for the first press box of the season, but we're just getting started.
That's right. Each week we will have the most complete coverage of high school football from the 4 states, so make sure to tune in every Friday night at 10:30.
You can also catch each week's show every Saturday morning at 8:30 on Fox 14 prior to the start of Big Noon Kickoff. Thanks for watching Press Box. We'll see you next week.